Totally
since
fine.
it's past 7. Cool. It should go straight to both of our YouTubes.
That's so awesome.
Go play. Yeah. Go play. Oh, you did it. Plum has a piece of paper. We should just start with kittens. Here's a kitten. Hi, everybody. Here's a kitten.
You can hear them like it's like little like
Rustling.
yeah, like paws on the floor. You just hear all this little like clicking.
2 of them are down here playing with the cord for my headphones. They're now at the age where all they do is play. And so the second you walk in, they are on top of your feet because they hate feet. And they want to kill all of the feet. This is Plum.
No.
He was on my leg. Plum, say
I
hi
like
to
his
the
little
camera.
feet.
You got socks.
His little white feet.
Got socks. Okay, you want to get down? And give kisses. Let me look at the YouTube. Make sure we are on here. My panel. Yes, we are live at the moment.
Excellent. Man, I feel like it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. It has been a very long time.
There's probably a reason for it.
Who is... Oh, hi, Papaya. Papaya just climbed up my leg.
Okay, hold on a second. Might have to step away just for like...
That's fine.
A minute.
We'll do kitten time. Who's in my lap?
I'm getting confirmation right now as to whether I do have to step away for a second.
Oh my goodness, who's on my feet? Who's on my feet? Should we have 84 subscribers on our YouTube account? Our Pot Off Course one?
It's crazy.
I have no idea.
Hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna step away.
Okay. Okay. If anybody is watching, Shelly will be right back. They had to step away. And I have 5 kittens at my feet. So we can have kitten time. Who wants to come up? Come on. You can do it. Jump, jump. Big jump. Are you coming? Come on. Climb up.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, Shelly's back. We were going to have kitten time, but none of them climbed up my leg at the right time. So we'll just... This is Pistachio. This is Pistachio.
It looks
You're
like
huge.
That little one.
Yeah. It's definitely the same dad. We've seen the dad a lot. This is Pistachio. Pistachio doesn't usually like to get picked up and get cuddled. But there you were waiting in line, buddy. Good job. Good job. Pistachio has bigger socks than Plum.
Yeah. But he looks almost identical.
Yes. Hi. Oh, there's Papaya coming up. Come on. This is going to happen. baby.
No.
How's your eye? Okie dokie. I suppose we can do the podcast. Well, Pineapple wants to come back up. Okay, my love. Hello, Leslie.
Hey,
Let's
Leslie.
this chair forward and hope it's not on any cats. How's it going, friends? I'm just going to keep this cat on my shoulder, and we're going to have a good time.
I have a quick question because I don't know how things work.
Yeah.
Do we have chat on YouTube? Like on either of our
I
channels?
think that people should be able to... Oh my god. Sorry, Pineapple just launched himself and flipped over. And he's fine. Okay. I think that you can go on to... Okay, yes, you can chat on YouTube. Come here, Pineapple. Are you okay? Are you alright, buddy? We got all the right toes. We're good. Okay, go. Cool. Apparently you can chat on YouTube, says Leslie. Leslie, my shoulder is fine. If it seems like I'm a little bit out of it, it's because I have been for a week. But I am here and it hurts a lot, but it's getting better. Don't go outside, friends. Bad things live there. Bad things live outside. Like waterfalls.
All right, so I don't know if I did that. Where are we gonna start? What do you want to start?
It's a good question. You want to do Batwoman or Supergirl first? We got 1 Supergirl, 3 Batwomen. Although I doubt all of it's not going to take very long. It's just questions for all of them.
Either one.
Okay. You want to do Batwoman first, and I'll explain what we're doing?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Hello, said Alice. I don't know where I'm going with this. Hello, said Alice.
I finished it in my head.
What do I say next? I'm not on the right document.
You're listening
to Red Herring, a
Batwoman podcast.
My name is Erin.
And my name is Shelly.
And we're here to get curiouser and curiouser about the last 3 episodes of Batwoman because we're hot garbage. Listen, it's fine. I am out of my mind because my shoulder dislocated, and we have been behind for a while. Not because of that. That only happened on Sunday.
No, I feel like it's mostly my fault. I'm gonna take the heat for it. I'm back in school.
There's no heat. You've been taking classes.
I know, and it's just killing me. All my time is either school or work. I don't even get to really watch either of these live anymore because I have deadlines each week that revolve around the dates that they air. So I'm using that time for getting assignments done. So I'm just trying to stick with it.
It'll be okay. Sorry, y'all. If I'm distracted, it's because I'm surrounded by 5 kittens. I'm in the kitten room. Anyways, so what we are going to do to catch up on everything that we have missed is we're just, we asked people to send in questions. We have quite a few for each episode. So we're going to do the 3 episodes of Batwoman we missed, which are 12, 13, 14, or 13, 14, 15. 13, 14, yep. 15. And then Supergirl 607. And we'll do quick, here's the big points from each episode, just so everyone knows what we're talking about, but we won't do our normal thing. Just so we can get all of this done in an amount of time that y'all would want to listen to it. Yeah. Okay, so the first one Batwoman 213. And I didn't put down the title. Do you have the title? I have the synopsis.
Do. It is, I'll give you a clue.
Okay. And the synopsis reads, when Sophie must face a foe from her rookie days with the Crows, Ryan, Mary, and Luke are also pulled into the villain's game. Meanwhile, the tables turn on Alice when she finds herself in dire circumstances, and Jacob continues to revisit the past.
Yeah, Jacob gets kind of messed up in this episode, right?
Yes, the one where Mary finally agrees that he has a snakebite problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sophie reveals that she knows Ryan is Batwoman. After a drinking game where she heavily hinted at it, and then the whole thing with trying to solve the puzzles just basically was like, I know you're Batwoman, stop lying to me. We have to save this person.
I'm so glad that happened.
I know. Thank God it didn't take multiple episodes. It took like 1.5.
I've said it multiple times. Like, that's one of the things I love about Batwoman is they just kind of get to it.
No secrets.
Right.
No secrets. Yeah, and then they got into it about Sophie being a crow. And ultimately Ryan softened on that a little bit, but not really.
No, she's not wrong. I mean,
no, she's not wrong. We see that later.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing for me this episode was Stephanie Brown.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about who that is?
I can. Give me a second here to bring up my notes.
Yeah. Come here, Peaches.
I think I talked about her a little bit in our last podcast, but she's the only person who's ever been Robin and Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Her latest, well, one of her more recent iterations is actually in the Rebirth Detective Comics run, which is actually, I think, really good, in my opinion. And I think it's worth reading. It started like in 2016. And it has Kate Kane and Batwoman, Stephanie Brown as Spoiler is what she later becomes. Like, that's her hero name is Spoiler. Mm-hmm. Tim Drake's Robin. Like, it's a really good run. But she is Cluemaster's daughter in the comics. That's all still, like, that whole backstory is solid. Like, that's all accurate. So I hope she comes back as Spoiler.
I feel like she will. It seemed like she would.
Do you care? Like, do you feel like it's all right to talk like linear with these episodes since we're like so far ahead of this one?
Yeah, sure. Spoiler alert. There.
Right. We're going to talk about it eventually. So if you're listening to this, like, heads up.
Just hold on, pause. Papaya just climbed up my leg. Hi, Papaya. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
But we're going to get Luke as Batwing. So that would be amazing if, like, Stephanie Brown came back, because I felt like there was some chemistry between them in this episode. So. And
don't step on the keys. Don't step on the keys.
In the comics, she's with Tim Drake, who is Robin. Mm-hmm. So it would be awesome if she and Luke had a thing and she like became spoiler. I'd be about that.
Yeah. That would be very cool. Then I think the other big thing is that Alice was being held captive and tortured for information about the Kane family, I guess. It's been a while. And escapes in the grossest way possible. We don't even have to talk about that. But then gets recaptured and puts it together that this girl in the mask is Cersei Sionis, or thinks that she is Cersei Sionis. And then she offers to make a new face for her, and in the process of that, realizes that she is Kate because she has their father's eyes.
I'm glad they kind of brought that line back, because that's from like the Batwoman elegy comic and the first season.
I think like episode 2.
Right.
Something very early. Yeah, so Alice knows, which is good. Another thing that I'm glad they didn't spend too much time waiting on.
Alice is like one of the brightest people on this show. She's like one of the most clever.
Truly. Leslie says, I was disappointed that Stephanie Brown might get together with Luke rather than Mary. I hope Batwoman is around for many, many years and both things can happen.
It's possible.
Yes. Are you going to hop down? Okay. All right. Was there anything else you want to talk about before we dive into these questions?
Nope.
All right. Well, our first one is from Clara, who gave us specific instructions not to answer the question, but I'm asking it anyway. Are all of your fingernails still where they're supposed to be? And Clara says, do not fucking answer that question. If your fingernails have somehow vacated your hands, I do not wish to know about it. I've been looking at my nails every 5 minutes since I finished watching the episode, and I think I'm going to have nightmares. My nails are all still here.
Mine too. Mine are all still here.
My nails are still here. My shoulder might not be where it's supposed to be, but nails are. So, win for me.
Lose the arm, keep the nails.
Exactly. Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. And I texted Shelly and I was like, when you see this, stop watching it.
And I did.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like the very beginning of where it was headed and I was just like, nope.
I truly wish I didn't have to see it. But I did.
Yeah.
I sort of went fetal position and just waited for it to be over.
They're taking full advantage of the 9:00 hour. Honestly, though, I think they would have
7 seconds.
Yeah, I think they would have done it at the 8:00 hour. So
probably. I wonder if they even knew what hour they were when they were writing this.
Probably not.
Okay, Clara also says, I might have been able to survive this game show because I have a bit of Gotham villain knowledge, but I would never have figured out the shooting range part, and my aim is shit, so I would be alive, but Stephanie would be dead, R.I.P. She's one iteration of Batgirl. Right? Yes. You did not make... Yeah. I don't keep up to date with CW News because I hate this network with all my guts, and also I don't have the time. But do you know if she's sticking around? Any chance she's going to smooch Luke again anytime soon, or is this going to be an off-screen romance / sexting like Imani and Ryan? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. I will say it was very hilarious that Mary accidentally got sexted by Ryan.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Poor Mary. Okay, come here, Plum. These cats, they just keep climbing me. I know they're very sweet. And then Leslie says, Jacob, literally foaming at the mouth, has devolved into a pathetic drug-addicted loser. who a homeless man found. Hopefully Jacob has bottomed out. How long can he go? Well, in episode 215, he got kidnapped twice. So I don't think he's on snakebite anymore, but he's still doing the most.
I think it was like super telling that the homeless man had like a leg up on Jacob Kane in this episode.
Yeah.
Like that he was way better off than Jacob Kane. Yeah, I'd say Jacob hit rock bottom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like he hasn't been through it, but he could have better coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Mary's been through all the same stuff he has, except for losing his daughter. Now, but she also lost Kate. And she's handling it much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that was everything. Oh, do we see anything?
Leslie asked, but did you like Cersei's outfit as she came down the stairs? She was in a romper.
Cersei's outfits puzzle me, but I think they're just supposed to be the exact opposite of Kate.
I guess so. Like, she seemed to be like, I don't know fashion. I don't even know if that's in style. Like, are rompers a thing?
What? Pretty sure they were like 5 years ago.
Is that the last time Cersei was alive?
I really don't know. Maybe. Okay. 214 cruising?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 214 is Injustice for All.
Injustice for All. This episode was a doozy. Batwoman is faced with a new challenge when Gotham's snakebite addicts become ravenous for more than the next fix. So, like, 3 important things happened in this episode, I guess. 2, really.
No, there was no justice there.
Yeah.
This episode pissed me off so bad, like, from go. Just from go, I was pissed the entire time.
Well, first of all, zombies.
Yeah, why? Why? There's so many more important things that they could have covered. Like, I don't know, Ryan and Imani, right?
Right. Ryan breaks up with Imani, which we didn't even really know that they were dating, but they broke up essentially the same way that Kate broke up with Regan last season.
Yeah.
Yep. Zombies, Ryan and Imani break up. Let's see. Alice.
Leslie says she's still mad and she can't even watch the show right now. It's in a 2-episode timeout. I don't blame you, like, at all. Like, I get what they're doing, and like they're not wrong. Like, that shit happens. Like, that whole thing at the, what's that place called? The Lookout? Is that the gay bar?
The Hold Up.
Hold Up. Thank you. I think the Lookout was a gay bar in a town I lived in. At any rate, at the Hold Up, like, when those guys came in, like, they probably weren't gonna do anything till they saw it was like mostly black folks in there, and then that's when they were like saying all this shit, all this like derogatory shit to like shut it down and see what kind of trouble they could stir up. That's how I felt about it. Like, everything that came out of their mouth after they saw the people that were in the bar was like poking, like seeing what they could do just to like haul people out of there. It was so infuriating. But I liked how they kind of showed like different sides of how you deal with that. Where Ryan was like super pissed off and like calling them out on like what they were actually doing. And Luke was like taking the approach of like, you know, we'll quiet down. we don't want any trouble.
Yeah.
Like kind of like pick your battles kind of thing. Like I appreciate that aspect. Like that's all very, very real.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's not like the cops make me mad. That's not like what is like the most infuriating thing about this episode. But yeah, I kind of got the feeling from go on this that it was going to be like a very emotionally charged episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. Like it kept going from there.
That
it kept
wasn't
going
the
from
worst
there.
thing that happened. Yeah.
The way they got slammed down on the bar by that cop, like.
Yeah. I think that was traumatic enough for a lot of people, and then at the end, I don't think they needed all that.
But that shit's true. Like
it is true.
That's people, police in neighborhoods that are not where they're from. They don't know the history. They don't know the culture. They end up arresting a lot of people that probably don't look like them. Like, This is the shit that goes on. And I mean, I'm kind of glad that they've shown it. I've got to like keep myself busy because I'm like shaking. Just talking about it. But
yeah, I mean, I think showing that I don't think was a problem. I think and I don't even know if the last part was a problem, but I do know that there were a lot of people who were like, we did not need to see that right now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, we didn't even say it. Tavarov shot Luke at the end for trying to keep somebody from stealing the car.
Right.
Leslie says the shooting was traumatic to see for a show that is supposed to be entertaining. I could have seen the shooting anytime on the news. You're not wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, the other thing that happened in this episode was Alice gets free, kidnaps Enigma, and tries to find a way for her to tries to make her give her like the keyword to snap Kate back and get her memories back, stuff like that. And then Ocean just kills her.
What the fuck?
Because he didn't want her to have Kate back because he thinks that Kate is a distraction to Alice and his relationship with Alice.
Yeah, I think he's trying to win Alice over, but I think he's going about it the wrong way. I don't know if he knows Alice. I mean, she did stab him and like try to kill him.
A little bit.
So you think he would like be a bit more cautious about his approach?
Mm-hmm. Leslie says,
I think he's toxic too, Leslie. Sorry.
Yeah. Leslie says Ocean is awful and beyond the pale, and he's the one who is toxic. Yeah, I would say
I agree.
So.
I think he just wants Alice to himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't want her to focus any time on Kate.
In slight fairness, she did kill him for Kate. So, I suppose you can blame the hesitation on that.
I guess so.
Sure.
But if he loves her, like, why wouldn't he want her to have her sister? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So she doesn't get any info on that, and now Enigma is dead, which is sad because I liked her.
I kind of did too, a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess we forgot last episode that when Alice briefly broke free, she tried to call Jacob, and Jacob was so high that he didn't believe that it was Alice.
Yeah, that did happen. That was sad.
It was a sad little like, oh my god, I got free. The first person I'm going to call is my dad, even though we hate each other, and he doesn't even believe that it's her. Okay, you can get down.
So, also in this episode, Ryan and Sophie and Luke, they get arrested at the holdup, which was a fundraiser. I can't even get into it. But at any rate, they're in jail, and there's a dude in there. What was that guy's name? I can't remember his name.
Eli, the car guy?
Yeah. And he's kind of important later. But them talking to him was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I was entertained by it a little bit. That was like at least a little bit of an entertaining piece of the episode.
Yeah. So Luke's on the phone with Mary, and then he sees that Eli is stealing a car, and he goes to try to get Eli to stop stealing the car, and then Tavroff shows up, and Eli blames Luke for like saying that he's the one who's trying to steal this car, and then Tavroff just shoots him. And
Luke that was after. Yeah, it was after Tavroff shot like a bunch of people that Batwoman was trying to cure. Yes, that were at the time zombies or like on their way to not being zombies, but he just like opened fire on all of them.
Yeah, he's maybe not the best.
Yeah, he's basically a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely a piece of shit.
So, and that was like just before that, Sophie was like, it was like her last ditch effort to kind of like take control and like get him to follow orders, and then like after that she was like, fuck this.
Yeah, Sophie quit the Crows in this episode, so there's that was exciting.
Yeah. I mean, just in time. Like, I wonder if she's gonna get that severance.
Probably not.
Right.
Probably not. Yeah. Anything else about this episode? Can't tell me.
Leslie says that I think Luke getting shot like that after fumbling for his phone was bad superhero storytelling. Someone should have saved Luke, namely Batwoman, but Batwoman saved the racist cop. Nah, I don't think so. I agree with you. Like, I think she should have just like let him have it. Yeah. But I know she's better than that, and that's what they were showing. Yeah, I just. The only thing that I can think of, and I still think it's like a bad way to go about it, is this is going to trigger Luke to be Batwing.
And, that's for sure.
And it's similar to Bruce Wayne's story, where his parents were shot and killed in like an alley.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what like made him become Batman eventually. It's a little too much. I wish they would have done it a different way. But that's what they did. So that's where we're at.
Yep.
So I'm curious, Leslie. I'm going to ask you. You haven't watched the next episode, I assume? 215?
I don't believe so.
Armed and Dangerous. Yes.
You can go. Where you can go? Hot down. No.
Okay. Just checking. I just was curious.
Leslie, is it okay if we spoil it for you? Hi. I wish y'all could see what's happening. Because what's happening is that I am in a very tall chair, and my headphone cord is dangling, so it's bringing all the kittens to the yard. And I'm wearing sweatpants, and they just are climbing up them and appearing in my lap. And that's what's going on here.
They like you.
They do like me, and I like them. Okay, Leslie says, I'm not interested in seeing the outrage. It never should have happened the way it did. Yes, spoil it. Yeah, I agree. I understand what they were trying to do. I just don't think that they should have done it.
Yeah. I think there's other ways they could have gotten to that point.
Yeah. Okay. We will spoil it, Leslie. It wasn't like a super fantastic 215. It was fine, but you didn't miss a ton. All right, you want to run through some questions?
I do. All right, so we got questions from Clara here. Clara said, Sophie really chose the worst possible time to leave the crows, didn't she? Absolutely, she did.
The best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I think the best possible time would have been never signing.
It would have been last year.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I don't think she's gonna get that severance.
No.
Oh. And Clara also says they briefly mentioned touchstones this episode, just like in Supergirl. Do you think the CW has one big hat with 3 ideas all the writing teams have to use?
I think so. I absolutely think so.
You think it's like, I don't even know the name of it because I'm terrible at that, but like there's a show on Food Network where they're like, here's these ingredients. You have to put them in your, I guess so. Yeah. You have to make like a meal and it has to be like a few courses and these have to be incorporated in. And I think that's how the CW makes their shows.
Yeah. You have to do kidnapping and or main character missing. You have to talk about touchstones. You have to make them interact with people who may or may not actually be there.
There has to be mind wipes of some variety.
Right. Yeah, no, they fully put all their ideas into a hat and then forgot to take them out once one was pulled.
Yeah. Oh, criminy. And then Leslie had a question here. This episode attempted to make a profound commentary on social justice issues, but it failed to do so. How could this episode be taken seriously when it is shoehorned into a monster mash gross zombie apocalypse hunt? I agree.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. The zombies, like, I feel like there was enough going on that the zombies didn't need to be involved. They could have done like a Batwoman, like following those cops around to see like what they did next kind of thing. Like,
right.
That was just too much. It was just over the top. And like, I mean, I didn't need to see Tavaroff shoot Luke, but I definitely also did not need to see him shoot all those people to know like he was an asshole. Like they had already clearly painted that picture.
Right. Like, do we need another reminder that the crows are trash and need to go?
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I felt very drained after I watched this episode. To be honest, it was a lot.
I didn't see anything about anybody enjoying it.
And then Leslie asked, did you think that Luke had a force field to protect himself before he was shot?
No.
I was hoping he had like something on underneath like his clothes or something, maybe like something like gadgety that would help protect him. Was there something particular that you saw, Leslie, that made you think of a force field? And then Leslie also confirmed Chopped as the show and then said that love triangle is another thing that they like to throw in on the CW. And that's true also. I feel like the love triangle thing's been on many shows. Like Arrow.
Yeah.
It was Oliver, Laurel, and Tommy, Merlin at first, and then it was kind of Laurel and Felicity. Sarah was in the mix at like some point. On the Flash, there was like Barry and what the heck was that? One reporter, was her name Linda?
Oh God, no, it wasn't. But it was. Oh God, what was her name?
There was Patty also.
Yeah, Patty is who I was thinking of.
And Eddie and
Iris.
Thank you. How can I remember like Patty, but I couldn't remember Iris? What the fuck?
And Eddie, that's been so long.
I know. Eddie's coming back. Spoiler.
Is he?
Yep.
Supergirl had that infamous Lena James Kara situation.
That was a disaster.
Kara Wynne James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Leslie says that Tavaroff also got the other crows to laugh at and disrespect Sophie. Yeah, he is just shit. He is total shit.
Yeah,
I was hoping he had. Oh, this is about Luke. I was just hoping he had protection because I couldn't believe the show was going to show a black man being shot. That scene happened quickly and came out of the blue. The show also missed the mark because Tavaroff is a rent-a-cop and not a real cop. That's true. Very true.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. All right, you want to do... That's all the questions, right, for that one?
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, 215 is called Armed and Dangerous?
Armed and Dangerous, yes.
Okay. As Luke Fox's life hangs in the balance, repercussions from the devastating event are the catalyst for some life-changing decisions for those around him. So yeah, Tavaroff shot Luke. It's not looking great. Mary and Ryan. Yeah. Mary and Ryan immediately go down to the Batcave. Ryan to figure out what happened as Batwoman, and Mary to use the Desert Rose to save Luke's life. Mary can't get the Desert Rose to him because there are crows outside his room, put there by Jacob, who is kind of believing Tavaroff's story maybe a little bit, or just doesn't care enough to do anything about not believing it. I don't really know, but he's trying to investigate the situation. Tavaroff's a dick. And the other people who are on this like committee interviewing Tavaroff are just like fully believing him.
It was totally enraging.
Yeah.
All of it.
I don't even know
Leslie,
who those people were, but
they
were clearly watch it. Yeah, you're right. Don't watch it. But anyways, Mary can't get the Desert Rose into Luke's room, so they call upon our good friend Wolf Spider, who does it for her.
Evan Blake. Yep.
Yes, and we even got to see them very briefly, which I really enjoyed. We did.
They're amazing. Like, I'm just...
They're so
I'd
cute.
like to see
I hope
them more.
they keep coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, when we first saw Wolf Spider, I was like, are we even going to get to see them, like, outside of the suit? Like, is this just a stunt double? But then, no, they walked up. It was very exciting. Yes. Anyways, during that whole time, and this is the part where it gets worse, I think. Yeah, Leslie, maybe don't want to. Luke, while he is in coma hallucination land, which is another CW trope.
It's true. At least they didn't end up on All Hell, because it's been so long since I've watched Arrow. The Island.
DNU.
Yeah, that's where everybody that's in a coma ends up, I feel like.
That's true.
Everybody goes
You're
to
not
the
wrong. Kara goes to her loft.
Yeah. So it was
yeah. So anyways, he sees Lucius, who's just like looking out the window. We don't ever really see Lucius. But he's trying to talk to his dad, and then Bruce shows up, who, you know, same guy that played Bruce, fake Bruce earlier. And talks to Luke and is basically like, you're here so that you can decide if you want to keep living or if you'd rather just not live in a world where someone's going to shoot you just because you're black. And he decides he doesn't want to live and he wants to be with his dad. And then he's going to go be with his dad, and then the Dazzle Rose saves him and he wakes up, which to me is just like so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, not that he chose that. Like, that's fucking sad and depressing. But makes sense. And is something that I hope that they, like, explore. Like, please give him therapy and not from Enigma. Who is dead, but, you know. I just feel like that was maybe just, like, an extra amount of violence that they didn't really need to do.
Yeah, to like give him that option, and he chooses he doesn't want to live that life anymore. And then to like, that's like the second that they jerk him back into reality.
Yeah.
That he's still alive.
Oh, poor Luke.
Yeah, and I feel like his dad started to turn around at that point.
Yeah, he did.
Remembering. So super messed up.
Yeah.
I feel like Luke's story doesn't get better yet. It's like
no,
slightly sadder. If that, I mean, I didn't think it was possible, but it is.
Yeah. So the whole time that this is happening, Tavarov is trying to frame Luke, saying that he actually did pull out a gun, not a phone.
They doctored the body cam footage so that it full on shows Luke with a handgun in his hand firing off some shots.
Yes. And Ryan is trying to get to the original footage before it gets erased, but then has to abandon that mission because Tavarov has also knocked down and kidnapped Jacob because it's another fucking Tuesday.
Well, Jacob confronted him and was just like,
yeah,
I don't trust you. I'm going to look at... Right. I'm going to investigate this further. And he just knocks him out with the butt of his gun, right?
Yeah. And that was after Sophie showed up and was like, dude, you got a problem with these crows, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Sophie showed up and talked to Jacob for a minute and like got through to him like something's not right here.
Yeah. Just
you don't have to believe me, just look at the footage.
And then Tavarov finds Jacob's snake bite and is gonna like force him into an OD to kill him, and all of the other crows who are like
in his clique.
In his clique, all the dirty, gross, dirty cops. I don't know. They're all like, that'll kill him, and he's like, well, do you want to go to jail? And they're like, no. So they're like, all for it. So then Ryan has to go upset that. So then the footage gets deleted. But Ryan saves Jacob, who decides that he has to disband the crows, which is the first good thing Jacob has done in 2 seasons.
Yeah. It's time. Like,
it's well past time.
Yeah, he held a press conference and like said like the only solution to like atone for what they've done is to disband.
Yep. And so No more crows. And then, this is my favorite part of the episode, truly one of the only enjoyable parts. Besides the crows being disbanded. Jacob goes to the parking lot to leave, and Alice is just in his car. And he just gets in it.
She's in the passenger seat, like she's just like waving to him, like
in the passenger seat, just waiting. And she essentially says, like, seeing as I've been able to get into your parking garage so many goddamn times, maybe it's not that bad that the crows are no longer protecting Gotham. And I was like, thank you. We say
Somebody
this every week.
Yeah. Right.
And then Alice tells Jacob that Kate's alive. Jacob doesn't believe her, but then she says, like, no, for real, this time, like, she's alive, and not like in the sense of like, is she on this island? It's like, she's alive and I know where she is. Which Alice had previously gone to Wayne Tower to like see if Mary knew anything, and I guess found out that she didn't, and then sort of warned her and walked away. But anyways, Alice says to Jacob that they are gonna go find Kate, and they're never gonna give up.
Right.
So that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, in that part where Alice went to warn, well, not really, she just went to see what she knew, but she did warn Mary, like she cares about Mary a little bit, maybe, in a weird, unattached sort of way. In a true Alice fashion.
Yeah, where nothing Alice does truly makes sense, but she does feel for Sophie, or for Mary, I guess, somehow. But yeah, anyways, they're gonna go find Kate. So that's exciting. We know that Luke will become Batwing, probably because of this. I think it's a shitty way to set it up, but I am glad that he's becoming Batwing.
Yeah.
I'm also really just excited for Cameron Johnson, who seems to be super thrilled. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yep. Leslie says, aren't all of the crows dirty except for Sophie? Yes. Yeah. Jacob essentially was like, yeah, we've been cutting corners for years and years. We gotta go. So, like, not even, well, I try to say not even Jacob, but, like, what's Jacob been doing? That's good. Nothing.
Yeah, pretty well. Mary sent him a text saying that she was proud of him.
Yes, and he smiled for the first time in 25 years.
Yeah. It cracked his face a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In the promo for the next episode, we see that David Ramsey is going to make a guest appearance as John Diggle.
David Ramsey is making the rounds. He's going to be in 5 Arrowverse shows.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's going to be on Supergirl, I think episode 12 maybe. The one that Ozzy Tesfaye co-wrote, and he directed it, I believe. He's been directing a bunch of Arrowverse shows. I think he did Legends. Ow, Jesus. Cat just flew at my foot and then grabbed it with claws. Anyways, Legends, Supergirl, Batwoman. I don't know if he's directing The Flash. Probably. Anyways, he's making the rounds. We're going to see him a lot, which I wonder if it's setting up a Green Lantern show.
I hope so.
Yeah. If he does set up a Green Lantern show, I would very much enjoy for Alex and Kelly to pop over there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah. Or Dreamer.
Yep.
Someone. Anyways, yes, he is going to be in it. And so is Wallace Day's whole face. So that's exciting.
And she might know who she is. We're not sure about that.
Right, unsure. She said, can I get back to you on that?
I saw an interview from, I think it was like 8 months ago. And I don't know how I missed it, but I did. And it was Ruby Rose on Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about, he was just like, why did you leave? Essentially. And she said she was talking with Greg Berlanti and some other executives at the show, and she made it sound like it was just like amicable, like everybody was about it. But the thing that was interesting in that episode, or in that interview, was that she said that there are going to be many iterations of Batwoman.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know if I like that.
Right. And, you know, like, who knows, like, maybe she was saying that to kind of take the heat off of her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she meant, like, in media in general.
Right. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this season's been all over the place. Leslie asks, what does that mean for Javicia?
I hope nothing.
I hope nothing too. I don't know.
I would be enraged, and not in the way that we were before, where we're just like, oh, okay, well, it worked out fine. I think I would be mad.
Right.
Unless it were her choice, but you know, who knows? Gonna do some questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a lot from Clara. These are all from Clara, actually. Okay. So first thing, did you find this episode to be weirdly paced, or do you think the hiatus caused us to lose the rhythm of the story? This episode felt weird to me. It felt very like nothing really happened, which is odd because something so big had happened. I don't know if everybody was just like sort of not into it.
I feel like there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It was like maybe a little disjointed because of all the different stories happening. Like with Alice and Ocean and the Crows with like Jacob and Tavaroff. And there was a scene between Sophie comes to the Batcave, and there's a scene between Ryan is sitting at the computer. She's not wearing her Batwoman mask, but she's in this suit. And they have like a scene together that was really touching. And they hug it out at the end. And then there's the whole thing with the Desert Rose and Wolf Spider. Like, it was a ton of stuff going on in this episode. And then Luke, like, talking to Bruce. It was a lot. So I think it was like the thing was, it was just going too many directions. I know that all of the pieces were relevant to the story, but it was just a lot to take in.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Clark says, do you think getting whacked on the head one too many times is what caused Jacob to see the light so quickly in this episode? And what chances of survival do you give him? None.
He is disbanding the Crows and can't carry a weapon. 0.
None. Yeah, no, he ain't living the entire series. There's no way.
Because it's still, I mean, even after this, like, Black Mask is still going after, it looks like, the Kane family. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Nothing good to Jacob.
Yeah. I think that, like, Jacob Kane will die at the end of the season, but it'll be just in time to, like, see his daughters, like, reunited, like how he wanted them to, and then they'll, like, send them out.
I mean, I feel like he's out. Well, he definitely has never had any usefulness, but he's outlived his just any reason for being there. I feel like.
Right. I like the actor, but like, yeah, the character.
Yeah, I have Douglas Scott's great. It's just Jacob is the worst.
Yeah, and because I was talking about it before, the Rebirth Detective Comics run, Jacob Kane's a piece of shit in that. So, also, if you're like not on the Jacob Kane train, that might be something interesting for you to read.
Okay, what's your opinion on this TV trend of having characters who are on the brink of death experience some sort of vision? I'm beyond bored of this type of storyline, but I have to admit the twist on this one, namely the fact that Luke wanted to die, was interesting, and I hope it's explored again later on. Yeah, I've never seen like a comatose vision person decide not to live before, so that is interesting. I feel very weird talking about a lot of these subjects with kittens in my hand, and I'm sorry for any sort of insensitivity that might portray. They're just jumping on me, and I can't do anything about it. Anyways, yeah, I'm over that trope. I don't. Grey's Anatomy just did it for a whole damn season.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I feel like it's just like a TV trend we're never going to get rid of.
Right.
Even like in comedies, like, do you remember on One Day at a Time?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm bored of it. Like, you get like interesting depth into characters, I guess, when they're on the brink of death, and like it plays on like nobody knows what happens when you die.
I liked it when Supergirl.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I'd be pissed if I died and like before I go to wherever happened, like whatever happens in the afterlife, like I'm at my place of employment.
Yeah.
Because Luke is like in Wayne Tower.
The question is, where does Luke live? And does he do anything that's not at the tower?
I don't know. Maybe he lives there. I don't know.
He very well might. I don't know. I will say I liked it when Supergirl did it. They've done it a couple times, but I'm specifically talking about when Brady was introduced. But that might just be because I really like Brainy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do hope they explore the Luke thing, though. Like, please, therapist.
Yeah, he's gonna have to talk to somebody, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of PTSD, yeah. Tavarov, does he deserve anything more than death by evisceration? No.
I think he deserves that fingernail thing that I did not watch.
Yeah. Does that count as evisceration?
Just as like the tip of the iceberg. Like, that's just to start off.
Yeah, that's first things first. Is he in any way, shape, or form an interesting character, or is he more of a caricature? Yeah, I mean, he's just supposed to be the bad white cop. That's all.
And he's just, yeah. He is like so many bad white cops rolled into one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, I fucking hate it. Yeah.
Yep.
I unfortunately had a thought about Ocean. It was a really good sentence. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Clara says I unfortunately had a thought about Ocean.
With a vomiting emoji.
Yeah. And I think that in the end, Alice is going to have to choose between him and Kate. If I'm correct, who do you think Alice is going to choose? Kate, because she's always dreamed of her sister saving her, or Ocean, because she's in love? God, it better be Kate, because I'm going to fucking kill Ocean.
It better be Kate.
I won't kill him. I'll just eat it back to the island.
Yeah, he needs to head back to.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the island. That's terrible.
All I can think of is Lianu.
And yeah, no, that was like what was coming to my mind too. It'll come to me when I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, literally, it's just because we talked about Lianu. I can't think of what it's actually called.
I would just like to see something like go right for Alice, like where she didn't have to make a choice like that. Coriana, thank you, Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Leslie says Tavroff could be eaten by zombies. Like he should have been. Well, we shot him all, so there was that. But I wish he was. If he would have been, like, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we are now, and Leslie wouldn't have Batwoman on timeout.
Very true. Finally, thoughts on that Sophie and Ryan hug. What chance do you give them to share a wee kiss before Kate comes back into the picture and runs off into the sunset with Sophie? I don't know.
I don't know either. Because it kind of seems like Ryan and Amani are a thing, or are they a casual thing?
Ryan broke it off.
I don't know how the kids. Yeah, that's right. Because it wasn't safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had to keep that part of herself secret from Amani.
Exactly.
And she didn't like that, so. But she doesn't with Sophie.
No, she doesn't.
Who else was in the picture? We were like, who is Ryan gonna end up? Mary. Yep. She wouldn't with Mary either.
Yeah.
And there was that whole like sexting thing with Mary, which wasn't intentional, but
hey,
still there. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely don't know.
I think Sophie and Ryan are gonna share a wee kiss. I think so.
You think it's coming to that? Yeah.
And then last question. This is a bonus question. Did you listen to the soundtrack for season 1 that came out a month ago? I did not.
I have added it into my. I think I had a conversation with Clara about this, but regarding the Supergirl soundtracks that just came out. I've added it into my study mix because I concentrate better when I'm listening to film scores or TV scores. So
nice. Maybe I'll try that. I have a class starting on Monday.
Yeah. I can send you a whole list of composers to add to it that I really enjoy. Carter Burrell is just like my favorite, and he did the most of the Twilight movies.
Those are just the most bomb soundtracks. In every way.
Well, this is the scores, yeah.
Right, with soundtracks and scores.
So he did like Bella's Lullaby or whatever the hell it's called. That was him. But he also did the soundtrack to Carol. The score to Carol, which was that whole soundtrack. I love it. Like that's one of my heavy rotation things. But yeah, I digress.
Man, I'm gonna have to figure out another room to do these in because I'm bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. You might like the cats just might need to have visitation, like a one or so at a time.
I'm really not in here this long with all of them ever, and I'm just like there's just blood all over my thumb and all over my feet because they keep jumping on me. I'm not worried about it for right now. It's just funny. When I die of cat scratch fever, I'll miss all of you.
I can't believe Wink hasn't been in here to like visit. Like I'm really surprised. Usually likes to come and visit.
No. Okay, well that was all the Batwoman stuff we had. Did you want to talk about anything else?
I can't think of anything. I think we hit all the main points.
Okay. Cool. Well then, I say, do you want to just release this all as one thing? It's not going to be super long.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we don't need to do any of the other stuff. We can just dive into Supergirl.
Yep. So Supergirl, season 6, episode 7, Fear Not. Knot. What was that about?
I don't
like
know
I
what
get
the
the
knot
fear
was.
part. Okay.
I don't want to know what the knot is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense.
But the official summary reads, as the Super Friends brave the Phantom Zone to bring Supergirl home, each member of the team is confronted by visions of their worst fear. Series star David Harewood directs.
Yes, he did.
And Leslie says the characters were all knotted up by their fears. Okay, I get that.
I'll allow it. My top 5 isn't super like plot heavy, so I don't know if you want to start.
So basically, what happens on this episode, I'm just going to summarize really briefly, is they're going into the Phantom Zone. That Phantom, I think, that's on their ship is like wreaking havoc on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Phantom Zone itself. I don't know. Like that part I can't remember because it's been a minute. But each member of the Super Friends experience or envisions their worst fears come to life. And they kind of do it in like a 10 minutes earlier kind of thing. I forget like what the time period was, but like they keep coming back for each person. And Lena's was the fear of drowning because of her mother. And I'm just going to start. That was like one of my top 5. The whole Kelpie fear. That's what the thing is called, is like a Kelpie, this water monster that she envisions. It's like a urban legend or something from where, I guess, Ireland. But that it basically like strangles and drowns the person with water. That's how they kill. And she saw her mom drown, so it was like crazy traumatizing for her. But she sees like it's killed everybody, and Lena and Nia are having like a conversation prior to all this shit going down. And it was like a nice scene between them, like talking to each other.
Yeah, like Lena was asking Nia all about her powers, and Nia was feeling bad because she hasn't felt confident in 1,000 years. But the conversation was cute, and they talked about like finding their family and stuff. It was very sweet.
Yeah. But the whole thing is like when all this shit goes down where they're like trying to fight off the Phantom and like the Phantom visions or whatever they're called, Kelly tells them they have to find things that anchor them in reality to let them know that it's not real. And as the Kelpie like killed everybody, and then her and Nia kind of escape for a minute and have a conversation, like a short brief exchange, and then the Kelpie gets in there and it kills Nia, and then it's like all up in Lena's face, and it's like a water monster kind of looking like Alien.
Yeah, exactly like Alien.
But she like grounds herself by like reminding herself that she's in the ship, which is the tower, and like the feel of steel or whatever, which I thought was kind of funny. For multiple reasons. But the water monster changes and it turns into like an outline or like the shape of her mother, which was kind of unsettling.
Yeah.
But she found comfort in it, so that's great. But like they're all in some way able to like fight off their demons, kind of, a little bit.
Sort of, also not really, but
yeah.
Yeah, my whole thing with that part is like, I enjoyed them, I guess. Like, they were interesting and compelling, but I also really just cared about them rescuing Kara. So every time they did another one and it just kept taking longer and longer, I was like, dear Lord.
Right. But do you think that means that Lena's mom's coming back? Like, do you think that's like...
so. A lot of people think her mom is Nixley.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we all know that her mom is just her.
Yeah.
They've talked about her mom a lot this season, and they never ever mentioned it. Except for maybe like once before, maybe in like season 2. So, I don't remember when she played her own mom. Maybe it was last season. I blocked out last season. Maybe that was the
4? Season 4?
Was it season 4?
I don't know.
Leslie, help. Was it Lena Croft Tomb Raider episode in season 5, or was it something else? Anyways, I think she's coming back. Lena mentioned her mother in season 2 and 4, so I guess it was season 4 that she played her mother, her own mother. Which sometimes I just think about it and I laugh at random periods. Oh, season 5, Confidence Women. Okay, is that the one where she played her own mother? Probably. We'll get confirmation in a second. Yeah, I think her mom's coming back. What do you think?
I think so. I feel like... Has she mentioned her mom earlier this season?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen more stuff about her mother. Like, not just this.
Yeah.
But it could be stuff that, like, people tweeted about. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's foreshadowing.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about...
Especially since her body was never found? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No body, no murder.
Right, exactly.
No death.
Nobody's dead.
Yeah. Okay, she played her mom in season 4 when she discussed seeing her mother. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Thank you, Leslie. So that was one of my points, was just, do we think Lena's mom is coming back? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess
what
the
was
next
one of your things?
It just says Alex and Kelly are so in love it hurts.
Yeah, so Kelly's fear of being weak and, well, I'm saying weak and not a hero, because I think she is in her own way. And I definitely don't think she's weak. But I think all that was like foreshadowing to Guardian. And
oh yeah, well, she did the little Guardian, like...
Yeah.
I tried to do it with my other arm. But I can't. So it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Oh god, if y'all have never dislocated your shoulder, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, I also, like, Kelly was able to, like, get through to Alex when she was, like, possessed by the Phantom. And that was, like, it's because of how much they love each other. And she's, like, listing off to Alex the things that she loves. And Alex loving lavender soap proves to me that someone on this writing staff knows gay. And they should tap into that way more often.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Yes, Leslie, finally some real emotion for Kelly.
Right?
Somebody in here knows gay. We love lavender. My boss and I both have essential oil diffusers in our office with lavender all the time. And I'm a professional
scent
gay.
is lavender. Yeah.
I literally am gay for a living. So the fact that we all have lavender in our offices all the time. Yes, that was cute. of them. I'm glad that Kelly went with them on the trip.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was important.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that Alex loved pot stickers like Kara.
Oh yeah, Brady mentioned that.
But yeah, that was like a super, for as messed up as it was, like it was still super sweet between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yikes. I put him down and I hop right back up. What was your next thing?
I love Nia, but I'm so tired of this trope of her not being able to interpret her dreams.
For the love of God, just let her be confident.
Jesus. Everything in the world fucking comes back to that. And it's just like, oh, just deal with that somehow. Somebody fucking deal with that because it needs to stop.
I will say this. I truly hated her like fear dream thing.
Of Brainy getting sucked out of the...
Yeah, because the entire thing was just, I'm not good enough. I'm going to lose this man that I love. And I was like, you're so much better than all of this, Nia.
Right. I think like maybe the biggest thing standing in her way is like her self-doubt.
Yeah. Hopefully that will change soon because it's driving me up the wall.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And like,
what was your next? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's not something that we really like. We obviously have explored her like getting her powers and sort of coming into them, and like narcolepsy thing at the beginning of her like tenure on the show. But like, this whole lack of confidence thing has never been this bad.
Right.
Like they were like, oh no, what do we do with Nia? I guess she's insecure. Okay, like. That's what happened. Leslie says, I don't understand Nia's whining. Why can't she go read the books Maeve had or ask Kellex? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Convenience.
Yeah, because she's still like on good footing like with her dad. Like she could go and get some of her mom's books and see what's up. Like I don't understand either. I mean, I know they've been working on this whole Kara thing and that's been like their deal, but like you think going back to when they went back to Midvale and back in time that like her wanting to call her mom might have like triggered like, oh, there's stuff of my mom's that still exists in my timeline. Like,
right, maybe she can still help me.
Right, why don't I do that?
Who knows? Yeah. And then I guess my only other thing really that we haven't covered, besides maybe just a little thing, but just that rescue was really fucking anticlimactic and I hated it.
Yeah, that was my thing also. Like I don't understand why.
It makes me sad to see Kara so like, you know, like out of it and broken like she was in that episode, but also like she's been trapped in the Phantom Zone for who knows how fucking long. Like it makes sense. Let that happen. Explore that. Let her friends bring her out of it. Like not her dad, who may or may not be real at this point.
I guess he is real.
I think he is. But Leslie did have an idea. This is in the questions. We can talk about it now. That like since Nixley was on the ship, like is Nixley the one like projecting this illusion of Zarel, and is he not really there?
That's a good.
That would be
good point.
Interesting.
That would be super shitty to do to Kara.
I know. Yeah, I'm also disappointed that Zarel is real. Leslie just said that because I just think it would have been more interesting, like, if you're gonna put her through this really terrible thing, like, at least feel it. But they just haven't given any effort to that at all, and it's infuriating.
I would be less disappointed if it wasn't the last season.
Right. And we've wasted now 7 episodes.
Right. And it's it's just another male cast member, and I know that's like terrible to say, but the show is Supergirl. That we're gonna lose like screen time on, and
right.
I'm not for it. I don't know.
Yeah, neither am I. But anyways, the rescue, like, he essentially talks her out of being sad, and then they drop a sun bomb that Lena made. Shout out to Lena. Kara gets her powers back and just like very casually flies into the ship and hugs Alex. And I'll tell you, I replayed that 7,000 times. But it was less than like 5 seconds, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I'm so incredibly upset about it.
You had to play it like 7 times to make it as long as you wanted it to be.
Right. And I just like truly, I don't believe that in the next episode they're going to like explore the emotion that they could have done. I just don't think they're going to. It looks like they're going to go to hijinks with Zor-El being on Earth. So I'm mad about it.
And I'm sure like Nixley is going to play a huge hijinks role as well.
Right.
I think that's why we get Thomas Lennon, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about Thomas Lennon coming back. Leslie says Zor-El should have talked Kara down since he was wimpy in every other scene. Yeah, I would have been like, what good is your advice to me, father? You suck. Right.
Like, where did his confidence come from all of a sudden?
Apparently her.
I guess. But it is always sad to see her like lose sight of hope.
But how much better would it have been if Alex had gone and found her and was the one to snap her out of it? Or anyone else on the ship. Especially with all that, like, I doubt it's going to come up later, but they had all that discussion about, like, Alex going out to be the one to find Kara. And, like, if anybody's going to do it, it has to be me because she's not going to believe anyone else. Like, and then just none of that happened.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, look, a ship. Let me fly onto it. Like, that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was all, they could have gone so many ways with it, but
like they could have.
They didn't.
If they were going to spend this whole episode on the fear thing, that would be fine. If at the end they were like, okay, we're here, time to go get Kara, and they'd spend at least half of the next episode doing that.
Right.
But they didn't do that. And we all know I've been disappointed by this show before, but this is one of the biggest fuck-ups for me.
What?
Yeah, it's been smooth sailing. I haven't had any complaints.
Oh, Supergirl. Yeah. I just want him to, like, focus on Kara for, like, the next however many episodes we get. Do we get 13 episodes?
Please. Yeah,
is there 20 this
20,
season?
So 13 more.
She needs to be in at least, like, 85% of the episode.
Correct.
And I want to say 90, but I will give them 85.
You gotta set the bar low.
Oh, yeah. Very low.
Let's all just look at this kitten face and feel better.
Oh, I do. Now, which one's that?
This is Plum. This... Yeah! Loud sounds. This is Papaya.
Now, is Plum the one that you found most recently? Or that was...
No, that's Pineapple. So, Plum, Papaya, Peaches, and Pistachio were all one letter. And then my neighbor found Pineapple, who was not looking too hot last week. So we took Pineapple in as well.
No.
Sweet babies. Oh my goodness! Hold on, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna take this photo and hold it up to the camera. Actually. This is what's happening right now behind me.
Oh, little cuddles.
Yes, peaches and pineapple.
You can tweet that photo and say this is where we're at right now in our live broadcast.
Honestly.
All right. So do you want to get to some questions, or do you have other things that you want to?
I don't have anything. Go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't have anything else except for Nixley is, coming back to.
Yeah.
On top of the ship, but we need that.
Yeah, she's hitching a ride, as it were. So Leslie, we'll start with this. Leslie just typed into the chat. Why was Jean insisting on being that one to go get Kara instead of Alex? That was stupid.
Even with that problematic, like, I'll just shapeshift into you thing, like, bro, king of the gaslight.
Right?
Like, what the fuck? No!
Yeah, no, that is just all kinds of bad. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, truly.
All right, our first sending question is also from Leslie. Why were our heroes using very old-fashioned seatbelts?
I read this question earlier and I was thinking about it, and I feel like it is because, well, I don't think there's an actual reason, but in my head, you know how John's spaceship was that old car?
Yeah.
I feel like he just has an aesthetic.
Oh, like that's like his image.
Mm-hmm.
Old.
Well, he is over 300 years old.
I guess so, but like, I don't know. I guess I just expect other planets to have better things. Like, look at the it's almost like roller coaster things that they have on the Wave Rider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do we
the restraints,
assume?
If you...
Yes. Do we assume that space and other planets have better stuff because Earth is so garbage?
Yeah, probably. I think for me, like, I can't. I hope there's beings that are smarter than us somewhere.
There's got, please.
Like a race of in existence that has like their shit way more together than we do.
I'm sorry. We have thousands upon thousands of people up in here who would rather not wear a mask and kill their grandma than agree with somebody who wants universal health care. Like, people who are just like, well, I'm a Republican, so I'm going to be not wearing a mask because that's what we're supposed to do. So, like, if we have that dumbassery happening.
Yeah. I mean, like, we can't even differentiate between cause and effect. Like, you being a Republican has nothing to do with that fucking mask.
Correct. It means nothing. And my socialist ass is also going to wear a mask. And we can both do that and still disagree.
Right?
I don't understand how it's political to not kill your grandma. But, you know, here on Earth it is.
Yeah. That's what we do here. So hopefully somebody is doing it better out there.
Let me tell you. So
how did this all come from seatbelts?
We were talking about if everyone on Earth is such a dumbass, there has to be better options out there. Anyways, let me tell you, I saw somebody on Instagram the other day say that their country has this weird tradition where when you turn 25, like, you get tied to a lamp post outside and they just throw cinnamon on you. Which apparently is Denmark. I looked it up.
Need to go to Denmark. Cinnamon's my favorite food.
Let's go to Denmark. We'll change the wedding.
No, don't. I just made like all my bookings are confirmed.
Okay, fine. We'll stay where we are. You're welcome. Anyways, then they were like, what's the weird thing that your country does? And I was like, buying an AR-15 in Walmart with no permit. And they were like, oh. I was like, yeah, living a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like,
different types of bad things. Cinnamon doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, I'd rather get cinnamon thrown on me than that. Anyways, back to the Supergirl podcast that we do.
Right. I'm just gonna say, like, in Denmark, like, if you get tied to a lamppost and you're thinking, like, oh god, somebody's gonna come up and throw cinnamon on me. But like, if you got tied to a lamppost here, like, cinnamon would be like the last thing on the list I would think that's gonna happen to me. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
there's only 2 situations where that doesn't end up with me dead.
Right.
In this here country. And I don't even know what the 2 situations are.
God, now I just want to carry like some cinnamon in my pocket and just be like, listen, if you're gonna tie me up, I already have the cinnamon in my pocket. I'm gonna like try to like plant that seed.
I've already had my 25th birthday, but they didn't do this for me, so it doesn't count.
I'm gonna plan out my kidnapping, unlike Jacob Kane, who just doesn't.
No, he just assumed he's gonna get kidnapped every day. There's too many people out there trying to kidnap him.
Yeah.
I think you should.
And I'm gonna bring my own cinnamon to this because that's the direction I want it to go. Like.
Mm-hmm. So that's been fun facts about Denmark.
It was fun.
2 people who don't know shit about Denmark. The Danes.
But I respect their cinnamon traditions.
I support them, and I think we should make it a thing here.
Yeah.
I'm going to start throwing cinnamon on people. See what happens.
Hell yeah. Do that at your wedding. Like, don't do the rice or birdseed thing or whatever the fuck.
They did say no rice or birdseed. They did not say no cinnamon.
Boom. There you go.
Loophole.
Those smell so good. Anyways, go ahead.
my best friend is allergic to cinnamon, so we'll kill her at the wedding.
Oh. What smell would you want associated with your wedding? Lavender?
Lavender. I'm just kidding. Probably like peppermint. I really love the way peppermint smells. Yeah, lavender. The gays love lavender.
Sure do.
Sure.
We have lavender honey in our cabinet, for God's sake.
So do we. We also have lavender graduation at my work. That's the graduation for gays.
Lavender has a lot of significance.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, next question.
Right. The writers could come up with anything better other than balloons being... Oh, I'm sorry. The writers could not come up with anything better other than balloons being Brainy's worst nightmare. Really? That joke was so wide of the mark, simply not funny, and a waste of precious episode time. And that was from Leslie.
Yeah, Clara said it too. I have mixed feelings. I thought it was hilarious. I was relieved because when I read that we were 42 minutes in or something like that, and John and Brainy still hadn't had theirs, I was like, oh dear Lord, it's gonna take so much longer. And then they did the balloons thing and it was over fast. But in the grand scheme, I think it was a terrible idea. We have explored Brainy's worst fears before, and they're not balloons. It's becoming his mother.
Right.
Like, we all know what Brady's worst fear is. The balloon thing was stupid. I'm glad that they did it because they didn't have to spend so much time. But if they had gone back and they just spent the whole episode doing the fear thing and then saved Car next time, I would have loved for them to have explored what Brady's actual fears were, which were probably killing Mia somehow by becoming his mother.
Right. And I would have, like... I mean, if we're not going to get Kara, and, like, we already knew we weren't because of how they were.
And at this point, we only have 5 seconds. So...
Right. I'd be down with, like, seeing another Brainiac. Like, I would be down with that.
Well, because he did such a great job of it in the bottle episode. Yeah. Yep. Hot garbage. I agree.
And then, you want to read Clara's question?
No, you go for it. The cats changed my screen, so now we're full screen. I'm not looking at them.
That's all right. This techno-organic being has been poorly dealing, and this is about Brainy and the balloons, I do believe, poorly dealing with a shit ton of trauma for years, admitted to being afraid of his own mother, spent the beginning of the season tortured by his time with Lex, and his biggest fear is balloons. This is ridiculous. I don't deny that he might be afraid of balloons. We all have our own inconsequential fears. Mine are small pieces of plastics. But it's kind of like if I told you all about my deepest anguish and then proceeded to have a nightmare about, I don't know, an old broken plastic fork. It's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I'm trying to think of like what my inconsequential fear might be. Like what's something weird that like freaks me out. I'll come back to it. Do you know what yours is?
Yeah.
Fingernails?
Manicures and pedicures.
Mine would probably be massages.
I also don't like that.
I have a huge fear of anybody like touching my back. I am not. I mean, in a hug it's okay, but like people that like come up and like want to like rub your shoulder and like think they're like doing something nice, like don't fucking do that shit. Like I can't handle that.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's fear or just something I hate. I'll have to keep thinking about this.
I'm going to change mine to nail files. Let's be more specific. It's nail files.
Okay.
I will not go
I'll
into
try
a nail
to think of
salon
something
because of the nail files. And if somebody is filing their nails next to me, I will leave.
Leslie says, I don't like the look of red velvet cake.
It is freaky cake? About it.
Is it the cake specifically? Is it the icing? Like, when I think of
is
red
it the
velvet
fact
cake,
that it looks like velvet.
There's always
you don't want to eat velvet.
Well, there's always cake in their icing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't understand that. Like, that's weird. Okay, it's the color, the red.
Ah.
That makes sense. The next question is from Leslie. Kara looked so alone as she sat on the rock after the destruction of the anchor. Why did the episode have to take Kara down so low, only to be brought back to normal very quickly and rather unbelievably by Zor-El of all people? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have anything for you on that. I thought it was trash.
Yeah, it was just shitty storytelling. It was like a missed opportunity for them to like make better of their hero, and they fucking didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next question is also from Leslie. Do you think Zor-El is alive and real, or just a figment of Kara's phantom or Nixley induced hallucination? I am like intrigued by this whole Nixley induced hallucination theory. That's something I had not thought of. Yeah, maybe.
It would be interesting because it would mean that she has to be around all the time.
Right. But why would Nixley paint it like she attacked Zor-El?
Right. Unless she was creating him still at the same, like trying to make this whole thing, like literally everything that happened if she did it.
Right. Leslie says both her parents can't be alive, right? That kind of ruins the show, doesn't it? I mean,
the fact that Argo is still around and like her mom's alive and her dad's alive now and like truly nothing about her story matters anymore. Like,
right. Like the whole intro of the show is ruined. Because her planet, her planet was destroyed, but her city wasn't, and her parents weren't, and she hasn't really lost anything. She just thought she has. I mean, I don't know. It's like all this trauma for naught. What kind of heroic story is that? Like, don't jump to like safe
don't
claims.
jump to conclusions.
Wait it out. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Yeah, I think this is like the worst. I don't agree with either of her parents being alive. Like, I don't know. I want Kara to be happy, but at what cost? I don't know.
Honestly.
It just seems like the wrong direction to take it. Like, why did her parents and her city survive, but Clark's didn't, you know? Like Kandor and I feel like Jor-El was like the better scientist out of the two brothers. I'm gonna chalk this up to like piss poor ideas.
Yeah.
Put forth by Supergirl.
I know how to make you feel better. Here's what's happening behind me now. 4 of them.
Oh.
4 of them in the cuddles.
Okay, let's see. Then our next question is from WriterBot. Imagine if the first time we saw Kara was when she flew into the tower ship. Not only could we understand the trauma Kara went through, but we would be left to wonder who the man was with her and who was the being hitching a ride on the outside of the ship as they left the Phantom Zone. Those are answers we could have gotten later, maybe with some flashbacks thrown in.
Yeah, I might have preferred that.
Instead of like her whole story in the Phantom Zone.
Right, which was essentially nothing. Nothing really happened.
No, it kind of like...
He kept saying like, this is so traumatic. And we were like, I never saw that though.
Yeah. It kind of established Nixley. And I mean, gave us like a bad image of Zor-El. That she spoke so.
Oh my god, congrats, Zor-El is alive, and he is so boring.
Yeah, and like Debbie Downer.
Right.
Leslie says Nixley attacked Zor-El because she thought Kara couldn't stand Zor-El either. So when the latter didn't work, Nixley took a softer approach to Zor-El, giving Kara some hope so Nixley could escape. Right. That makes sense.
But
man, Leslie's really thought this through.
Yeah.
It fits. It totally fits.
It does.
And that's all we had.
Cool.
For questions and such.
Yeah, and then no more Supergirl till deep into August.
Yeah, that is sad times. So, do you have an endorsement?
I have less of an endorsement and more of a shameless self-plug, which is
right.
Please go follow my new Instagram. It's called Seize the OK, and I write shitty poetry and draw shitty things. Put them next to each other.
It made me laugh.
It's a lot.
Like it makes me laugh every time I read it.
It's a lot. So it's at Seize the OK.
You do the drawings as well?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I do all of it. It's very, very fun. It's just like every stupid thought I have. I just draw an apple, put it next to it, and put it on Instagram. People like it. What about you?
So, as I was stating earlier, like my time is like exceptionally limited nowadays. So, I do have to commute to work a couple days a week. So I've been listening to a book, an audiobook, but it is also a in print book, and it's called The Psychology of Time Travel. It's by Kate Macarenis, and it is an amazing story. So it's like, I'll just read the summary because I don't want to fuck it up and I don't want to give anything away. And it's a lot going on in the book, so I don't want to like convolute it and make it sound unappealing. In 1967, 4 female scientists worked together to build the world's first time machine. But just as they are about to debut their creation, one of them suffers a breakdown, putting the whole project and future of time travel in jeopardy. To protect their invention, one member is exiled from the team, erasing her contribution from history. 50 years later, time travel is a big business. 20-something Ruby Rebello knows her beloved grandmother, Granny B, was one of the pioneers. Those are the 4 women who made the time machine and created time travel. Though no one will tell her more. But when B receives a mysterious newspaper clipping from the future reporting the murder of an unidentified woman, Ruby becomes obsessed. Could it be B? Who would want her dead? And most importantly of all, can her murder be stopped? And it says, traversing the decades and told from alternating perspectives, The Psychology of Time Travel introduces a fabulous new voice in fiction and a new must-read for fans of speculative fiction and women's fiction alike.
Wow.
And there is some queer characters in the story. So there's that aspect, but it's just incredibly interesting. It was like, I would listen to it at night too before I went to bed. So I know I've talked about it before, but like I'm going back to school for some software development stuff, and my job is IT. So I just look at computer screens all day long. So I don't like to, in any downtime I have, like be looking at my phone or anything else. Like I'm trying to like give my eyes a rest. Mm-hmm. And listening to the book like before bed and like on my drive has been like very relaxing, and like I'm just doing it more and more. I'm just listening to more books that way. But this was probably the best book I've listened to or read, however you want to look at that, in a long time.
Nice.
Like I highly recommend it. It's not that long, and I'm gonna have to listen to it again. It is from a lot of different characters' perspectives, and it does like hop eras and years, but everything ties together, and it's like amazing how the author makes that happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm all about it. The Psychology of Time Travel.
Psychology of Time Travel. That's very cool.
And I listen to it free from my library, so that's probably an option other places as well. Mm-hmm. Well, this was like an interesting way to do our show. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, well, we knocked out 4 episodes in less than 2 hours, so
that's pretty good for us. Like that's actually really, really good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Way to catch up.
Let us know what you guys think. Like, let us know if you like it. Maybe we'll do this more often.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can make like a Google Doc for submissions or something like that.
Right. I think it has like good flow. Like I feel like some of the questions pointed out like aspects of the show that we didn't necessarily mention or like think about. So, especially that Nixley thing. Good on you, Leslie.
Yeah. I hope for entertainment's sake, I hope that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. Sorry. Back to it's back on my endorsement. In the audiobook version of The Psychology of Time Travel, the lady that reads it has a very nice, soothing British voice. So
Nice.
if that's your thing, you should do that.
If it's not your thing, it should be. Oh, God. All 5
Right?
of them are awake and at my feet now.
All right, we need to wrap this up before
They've all
you
woken up. I'm surrounded.
before you don't have feet left.
Oh, that's, yeah. Ship sailed.
You need protective footwear.
I truly need a protective bubble.
All their little meows.
I know. Who wants to come up? Who have we not seen? Oh my goodness. Here's Pistachio. I don't think we've seen Pistachio since the very beginning.
No.
There's Baby. We haven't seen Peaches yet. Come here, baby. Hey, Peaches.
Aww.
Look how pretty your stripes are. You're the prettiest boy.
They're so cute. What time is it? Oh, it's still... Wink eats his dinner at like 6:30 or so. And he'll like play for like an hour after that. And then he like takes an hour and a half to 2 hour nap. So he's probably still in nap mode right now.
Oh, sleepy boy. They're climbing me again.
So what do we have coming up next? I guess Batwoman, right?
Batwoman is still going every week. Legends.
There's only a few episodes left, though.
Yeah.
Is that true? Right? I'm right on that.
I don't know how many. Well, we're on 16 coming up this week. I don't know how many they have for this season.
On IMDb, there's only 3 more episodes left. June 27th. Isn't that the end? I think that is the end of the season. Episode 18.
Well, dang.
Yeah.
Well, then, I guess we're coming into it.
And I'm looking, they have the names of the upcoming episodes of Batwoman: Rebirth, Kane, Kate, and Power.
Well, all right then. We just want to do our Instagrams and our Twitters. Is that everything else we have?
I think so. I think that's everything. Oh, there we go. So thank you everyone who took the time to send in questions and interact with us, and we love hearing from you guys and we like hearing what you think. You can reach us via Twitter at PodOffCourse and at Red Herring Pod, and also through email at podoffcourse@gmail.com and redherringpod@gmail.com. And then if you want to reach us individually, I am on Twitter and Instagram at Shop23.
I'm at Ernie Greenbean on both.
So thank you guys for tuning in and for listening. Leslie, as always, it's awesome to hear from you and get to interact with you. Leslie says she likes the format.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Awesome. And she said, have a good weekend. You have a good weekend as well.
Too.
And I guess we will wrap it up. You have that power, Aaron. I'm just a puppet.
I do. Okay. Little wave. Bye-bye. 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 And end stream. Yay, we did it.